Check out how Protoss in MaxPax is gonna fare against the Terran Clem this time. Another best of 5 here. The map is 10,000 feet, which could be the distance, or, you know, just human feet or any animal feet you can imagine. Just 10,000 of those. MaxPax, let me think. I haven't really seen too many of his PVZs recently. I feel like I've only casted PVTs. I think I've only casted PVPs from him recently. It's been keeps on hitting hero and stuff. So weird. And he hasn't really been performing that well in PvP. And it seems like this patch also is not really the patch MaxPax is the strongest on. He's kind of falling off a little bit. Excuse me. Now there's going to be that engineering bay block. We see 4 probes being pulled to deal with this. One is going to chase out the SCV, and 3 are going to keep on working on that engi bay. It's going to try to be greedy and sneak in one more here. Oh, he attempted to do so, but doesn't go for it. And there's a cybernetics core on the way. And on the other side, it's going to be a factory opening here. It's gonna go 1-in-1 in gas, so we know what this is. We saw this from Cure earlier, and I think Clem is like, hey, I like that build. Just gonna do the same. He probably knows it, I don't know, they're teammates and all that kind of stuff, but we will see the 3 Reaper and 2 Hellions most likely, and a very, very fast second command center with this build. He's just gonna swap the ACV because he doesn't want to have the 10 HP guy build that one. But of course Cure did not do this with an engineering bay block, so it didn't really work out that well, I want to say. I feel like the engi bay block was not worth it. Ideally want to have that at, you know, 99% finish, of course. What are those kind of balls? Kind of just floating. I guess we got some balls on this map. Well, yeah, you already see the Nexus finish up here. CC halfway done. So you're not a little bit behind here, but you have, of course, opportunity with the Reaper Hellion task force here. And if you can kill this Adept, it's already pretty good. We saw that kind of Cure did do the same, managed the same thing. So he kills the first Adept, that means there's only 2 units. And oh my god, if he could kill that second Adept as well, it would be amazing. He's gonna eat a shot on the Hellion though. I really like the target firing here from MaxPax there. Getting that permanent damage, but now he needs to fight the Reapers, because if he does not kill the Reapers, he will lose his own units, and he does lose another unit. So that means his defense is here. It has 4 legs and it has 2 lasers. Is it gonna be enough to kill off 4 units at the same time? I don't think so. We do see the bounce does work in favor here of Clem. Sorry, of MaxPax. But the second one does work in favor of Clem here. 5 probes already done. I feel like MaxPax is someone who kind of leaves games after these moments, you know? It's just too much damage. Oh, God. Clem killed as many probes as he made bases in the last game. 12, man. It's insane. At this stage of the game, look at how many he has. 26. He killed like 30%, 40% of the economy there. That's a little bit too much, isn't it? If we take a look at the income advantage, it's not fair. That's not fair. That's not how this world should work. And it can snowball if you lose that first unit, right? You're so unit light as the Protoss in these situations. Oh, did he see that mine? I don't think he saw the mine. Oh my god, the mine. Oh no! Ow! Oh! 7. Oh, 2 more. And he just casually walks out of the store. So it's like, all right, I've bought all the things I want now. Let's go back, take a ride. Oh my god, what a crazy attack. Oh boy, that mine on the high ground, that was amazing. I love stuff like this. That was so cute, so sneaky, and it just works out, and that makes it so beautiful. And that's the game basically. 22 probes against 34, so 38 SCVs. No, I don't think you can come back from this one, MaxPax. You need a wonder. You need like... He needs 3 or 4 fights to completely go into his favor to even have a chance to be even again. I mean, he's doing some nice harassment right now, but actually, I mean, he's not really, he's only kind of stifling the production. He's not really reducing the SCV count. He's killing 6 SCVs, but if you look at the SCV count, it's not falling below 38. It's been at 38 for this time, basically. So he manages to keep up or catch up in like a couple of probe cycles. So he's back to 25 now, but it's clearly not enough. I mean, there's an advantage about 1,000 at times of this game right now, so... And that's per minute. Like, imagine, Clem can make 2 command centers per minute and 4 marines, more than MaxPax. As the current mining. This is a disaster. MaxPax is gonna throw it all in one basket. Let's just go in with the Blink Stalkers, try to win the game. GG is gonna be called, man. That was Clem kind of... being the doctor, and yeah, MaxPax was not having a good time. He first cut his leg off, then the arm, and then he cut the head off in the end. What a beautiful doctor. That was terrible. That was terrible. Clem. Disgusting. Disgustingly good. But yeah, cute move. I really love the Widowmine, man. That was insane. A very nice tactical move. Of course, like MaxPax didn't have high ground vision there, so he didn't see the position where the mine burrowed, and he just pulled back the workers to... He never got into vicinity, like close enough to the mine, so it revealed. So he pulled back the workers to the mineral patch, and the mine was just in range of 1, and then he gets a shot on 7. And so, man, madness, madness. It might have been the best mine drop I've seen in a very long time. And it's crazy, it's like against MaxPax, it's not like against, I don't know. It's not like against Mana or Crater. Not to say that those are not good Protoss players, but those are definitely not as high profiled Protoss players as MaxPax is currently, right? So... crazy stuff. Alright, another engineering bay block is again gonna be scouted immediately here and denied very early. 1 probe is across the map, so only 3 probes working on this one. Means this is gonna stay for a little bit longer. You can see that actually by the damage numbers that probes or any attacks against building terrain structures they don't have armor basically. The building armor only gets done when it's finished, the +1 armor. Now this game is a completely turnaround on the approach. we saw a 1 barracks expand here. It's the same engineering bay block, but a completely different follow-up from Unit 1. No Reaper, instantly into Marines. It's gonna go into the reactor very fast. It's gonna start a mass producing the Marines. And he of course throws down the faster command center with this. Now finally we have got the Hellion to kind of keep on chasing these adepts. So if they commit, they actually commit to more damage being dealt to them. And he might be able to snipe this one. Oh no, it barely gets away. Oh, he's really gonna go for the chase. I love this. When MaxPax is like, I'm hiding this one. Such a great play, but that one SCV... Is he gonna see the adept? Oh, barely not. Man. Now it's gonna get killed by the adept. But the Hallion's gonna come back. And he will finish off the adept because there's not gonna be a recall. Oh! He loses the second SCV. There's an adept in the main. What happened here? I was too focused on the... Oh, he loses the Hellion! On the Hellion story. So he keeps this adept alive, weirdly enough. The other one does die. MaxPax, what a great move. Some great microman. A lot of damage there, actually, being dealt here to Clem. Killing 3 SCVs is quite nice. And some mining time as well. We saw a little bit of an SCV pull there to deal with the adept in the main for a moment. Now Clem is saying like, alright man, we need to do something about this. Let's see if we can find something with a drop and a cyclone across the map. Cyclone doesn't intercept anything on the way, so he just goes back home. The drop sees the Nexus doesn't see the drop. So he snipes the cyclone and he waits for the drop. Oh, he waits for the transfer. So MaxPax out of position. He is not, you see, he's not ready here. And if Clem is a little bit, oh, he's expecting MaxPax to be a little bit better. But MaxPax actually didn't oversaturate, so he kind of skipped on probe production for a while and waited for the Nexus to finish to start to probe that. So Clem was waiting for the transfer, but there was no transfer. Oh, and MaxPax does intercept the medevac. That's a big pick-off, actually. That's a really power spiky moment for the Terran that just got taken away from him. No more drop. You see, the Liberator was the second unit of choice from the starport. There is no production currently going on the starport, so no medevac for a while, no healing, no drop. That was a very big catch there for MaxPax. Basically gonna keep him safe for the next like 2 minutes from any drop. And if he can snatch that Liberator as well, might have been a little bit too much. I think we saw an observer die here. There's the carcass of the good one. This is not a push that should work. Clem is just kind of faking this. He doesn't really want to go across the map. He just wants to have another warp in round of minerals being spent into units that are not going to scale as well. That second is kind of funny. Oh, instantly blinking out of that one. Wait, did he? No, he didn't lose the Liberator, right? There it is, being repaired here in the main. The starport is there, it's not producing anything though. I kind of want to see a medevac here. Must be a very tight build. Clem's money is ultra low at any times here. But if he cannot sneak in a medevac reproduction here, well, the starport's already landed. He already knows what he wants to do with the money here right now. So he will snipe that observer, but I mean, he doesn't have stim yet, of course, so why would you make a medevac, right, if you can't stim? Oh, he might lose the cyclone. I'm getting blocked by these 2 Marines here. And now he's just sieging up in the middle of the map. He hopes MaxPax is just gonna rotate into this one. And I think he might get a little bit lucky. Only 1 Stalker though. He sees 1 Stalker. MaxPax is just rotating a little bit too far off. The 1 Stalker split off. I think that was not intentional, but that really worked out into MaxPax's favor, so he can immediately evacuate from the position, doesn't lose anything really that matters to him. There's the Liberator sneaking around again, and this is not really defended. I mean, Zealots are not going to help you. That Sentry can kill the Lib, but that's going to take a while. So he gets 2 probes. He's going to try to relocate. Of course, he doesn't want to lose this one. Press him in the main. Finally, medevac production starting back up again here. But Zealots are already there. A couple more being warped in here. So this is the difference you see from Clem and other Protoss players. Oh, that friendly fire was actually very huge there. 8 SCVs already going down. Wow. Clem pulling through. The Zealotess was being targeted there. So definitely worthwhile here for MaxPax. This is looking the best for MaxPax has been in the series so far. Now if he could get an aggressive stance here. If he can kill off the tanks, for example, maybe he eats a little bit too much damage there though on the Stalkers. I feel like a little bit of a spread might have just done the trick to swing the fight in the favor. If he could have killed all of the 3 tanks, man, he can just come in, you know, balls out of the way and just swing it in and bring the pain. So he's gonna try to do the trick with some more warpins, but he doesn't really preserve the units. Now he needs to relocate the war prism here back into his main base. So this is what I was touching on before this action picked up. Oh my god, is he gonna catch the medevac? Oh! No. He didn't even see it. Clem did see it, but MaxPax didn't. So Clem can relocate, while MaxPax cannot deal with this drop. That was a crucial moment here. So what I was trying to say, coming back here, Clem kind of moves in with the War Prism in that position, and he just drops like the 4 Zealots or 2 Zealots, warps in 2 more, and he picks them up and goes out again, and then he comes in. So he invests less money into those kind of harassment situations. It's more like a Terran, right? It's a drop he's using and then he's recycling it. And you saw MaxPax, he's just warping in Zealots and he's letting them do their thing. And he loses a bunch of them. I mean, he's still got some good damage done, but it's a trade. It's not like a recyclable moment there, really. That was a good defense there, and Clem might just get kind of surrounded here, stuck, but that's only a prism coming from behind, so maybe MaxPax need that prism here to micro the Colossi. Oh. Clem is looking good here. Starting to push out more and more. He kind of needs to solidify his 3rd base a little bit more, and he needs to get up a 4th base very soon. He's going into his extra upgrades here. We see the additional engineering bay on the way. We see the, and yeah, like MaxPax is bleeding units right now. He's not really dealing any damage. He's just throwing Zealots at him to buy some time. That's like a Protoss player would use Zealots, not like a Terran player. We saw that earlier. But yeah, there's the armory, there's the 2nd engineering base, so we're gonna see the two upgrades being started very soon. And then we're gonna see the 4th command center, and then we'll also see the Ghost Academy come in as well. Now this is a difference from Cure earlier, and that's the sensor turrets. Oh, nice hit there on that Zealot. Even gonna kill another one. And oh, this one also killed a unit here. Maybe a Zealot. And there's a drop down here in the bottom, so a lot of things being queued up right now. And there's a turret and 4 Marines and a Viking. What a cute little defense. And he even ceases now with the factory coming in. He runs in with his own Marines, he forces a recall. I wonder if it was the Prism. No, it wasn't. So it was a bunch of Stalkers, but he picks up and runs out before the Stalkers can catch him. So he kind of thwarts the aggression from MaxPax. He gets his own to work, kills 2 probes. He gets a recall, which is actually a really big thing. You kind of underestimate that ability a little bit. It's a resource in itself, and it's a timer now that MaxPax can't use for a while. So he's gonna be a little bit reluctant to really push in with this Colossus force. Or do anything crazy with the Prism, right? You don't really want to lose those units. He's gonna come in now. Can he get a good engagement? I don't feel like this is a good engage. Most of his units have been just walk. It feels like the Colossus have been targeted on top of that Liberator there for some weird reason. Still dealing some damage. And let's see if he can push through here, but it seems like Clem might just have a little bit too much reinforcements coming in here. Oh, this battle could swing in a moment. We also have a double drop eating away at a base here of MaxPax, and there's no reinforcements for MaxPax. He has the money though. What is he doing with it? Nothing really. Warping in 10 more Zealots right now, loses another Colossus on the retreat. That's what I meant. No recall. You can't really push in like that. Now Clem immediately utilizing that situation, and he should drop this. But MaxPax is already in position. Clem needs to notice that this is happening over here. He's gonna relocate to drop into the natural where there's nothing but a Tosis pylon powering 4 gateways. There's gonna be a bunch of production going down. Oh, he could even maybe snag a Colossus or the robotics bay, which is also gonna be a nice pick off here for him. We're not gonna get that Colossus though. That's a nice defensive Colossus, actually popping at a good moment there for MaxPax, but the tech got reset. He also has 4 gateways unpowered right now. His army is gonna be very weak in like a minute or two if he keeps on fighting right now. The War Prism is gonna get killed off here. I mean, he can't make Colossus right now, he can just make War Prisms, I guess. But Clem's army is just looking bigger and bigger. He's 110 army supply over 80 at this point. He needs a little bit more healing power maybe. The Medivac's looking kind of low there. Or maybe just get the Medivac upgrade. But yeah, I think 4 Medivacs, 7 Medivacs is actually quite a good number. Where are those? And there they are, I guess, yeah. With the army, but most of them are out of energy, so you don't really want to overcommit too much to Medivacs if you can have more fighting units. So you eventually want to get that upgrade, and I feel like this is a moment where a fusion core could be on the table. Oh, he doesn't have the Ghost Academy yet though, so yeah, definitely get that one first. He's gonna go into his 3-3 upgrades. This is looking good for Clem. MaxPax though, not out of the game. He kind of got himself back into this. He has bought enough time. He has still a lot of vision on the map. He still has the space here in the south working. He has this one still working, and this one is gonna get set up again. He needs kind of that income back up again. And did he remake the robotics support bay? Yes, he did, so he can make Colossi again. He is going into Storm. Another fight though. This is so Marauder heavy. There's nothing really to deal with these Marauders. There's no big Immortals. There's no Storm. There's no Disruptors. As good as Colossi are, they're not really good against Immortals, even though, like, they're decent, but not good. Oh, it survives. It survives! It survives! Because he chases the Prism with the Marauders. With the whole army. Now, can MaxPax buy enough time? I feel like, though, only Storm is not gonna do the trick. You already want to transition into Disruptors, but Disruptors against Clem always feels so, like, meh, right? He has Archons, but there's already Ghosts inside this. This army has none, but inside the composition. I think he already made the first ones. Can he kill the space though? One Colossus joining from a weird angle is gonna get picked off very easily here. The Archons, could they kill the Medivacs potentially? Not gonna do it though. Reinforcing Ghosts are gonna get snagged by like 700 Zealots coming from the north. But not before killing off one of the Archons there with a nice EMP. So MaxPax does make a defense. This game is really seesawing left and right, but this position is kind of getting more and more solidified here for our Terran player. 3 command centers now there. The Planetary has been shooting at this army for quite a while. He's gonna cancel one of them. There we go. But not before losing a bunch of stuff at home as well. The Medivac finally got shut down, but this double drop has been here for a while. Now if you can kill this base, that would be quite the pick-off. And I think he's gonna get it, but not for free. He needs to kill off, or I guess pay with a few Zealots himself. There's an EMP here, nice. On those clumped Zealots, gonna eat away a lot of those. And 3-3 is about to finish up here for Clem. His armor finished first, funnily enough. It's a little bit of a Byan moment there, but yeah, fortunately enough, the weapons weren't too far off. And yeah, Clem lost that mining position, so maybe he wants to float over his main command center and just put it over here to have that mining location. That was actually a really good pick off here by MaxPax, because behind this now he also has Storm. We're gonna see Clem's just sniping probes, man, that's so crazy. He trades out these 5 Marines for like 5 probes, insane. I thought for a moment, is the Marine gonna win against the Stalker? Oh, the Liberator had survived and it got to the dead airspace, but then it decides to just go back. But this double drop manages to sneak around again, and that's a lot of firepower in there. We see a Ghost, 2 Ghosts, 2 Marauders, 4 Marauders and 4 Marines here. That's actually quite a technical army he has there. And they're gonna start to shoot at that probe line and the Nexus now. Meanwhile, we have this big fight going on. MaxPax notices this and needs to cancel the base. Now, this is a formidable force with a double EMP here. He can just kill this. He's gonna just fight this army and he's just gonna kill this, but then he needs to pick up. He lost one of the Medivacs, so he loses a bunch of the units. He does, see this? He does pick up both Ghosts and then 2 Marauders, so he picks up high value units. They're not gonna pick up the Marines. Ghosts over Marauders. He has a, you know, it's like children and women first. The Ghosts are the children, the Marauders are the women. See, the women got, sorry, the children got saved again, but then the whole ship does sink in the end. Oh, nice snipe there. So no more storm in this army. But what a nice game we have on our hands. Now Clem is starting to establish more and more of a position for himself. This fight could go very south here for MaxPax. There's not enough AoE in this one, and I feel like he's just gonna bleed out the whole army here. There was no Stormer in this mix. I said this just a moment ago, and then he still decides to push in. At the same time, we have that harassment, like the defense force now used as a harassment tool here on the natural base from Clem, but there's not really that much to do there, actually. Most of the SCVs are already gone to work on different bases anyways, and he's kind of trading against the reinforcements, but there was just too many reinforcements coming in. He kills a barracks, I guess. That's the best thing he gets there. There was a barracks, yeah, just confirming here. And he loses a base, though, in return. He kills most of the Vikings, I want to say. Yeah, we're down to 4. 13-3, 13-3. 13 medevacs at this point. 2 more. It's going to be 50 medevacs. A little bit overkill. He's finally getting that fusion core. Definitely wants to get that upgrade for the medevacs here as soon as possible. Triple drop. Now, MaxPax is doing good here. He's decent. But his army trading has been kind of lackluster. Let's have a look at the resource lost. Yeah, it's actually quite in favor of Clem here. No surprise there. That's 6k resources. That might just be enough to kind of pay for the deficit in bases right now. And honestly, the mining operations are not that big for MaxPax. He's finally transferring over some probes. He still has this here, but this, as you can see, is not really that great. These guys should be working from here. But now we have another engagement in the middle. This is not a good army though. 1 Templar, 4 Colossus is okay. 1 Templar is definitely not okay. And 34 Zealots is definitely not good. That's what you want as your reinforcement, right? That's what you warp in. After you lost your first 20 Zealots, you warp in 34 more. That's not what you want to have in your initial engagement. Definitely a little bit overly aggressive there on the Zealot production. Did not trade them out correctly, I want to say. And now he has to pay with a bad fight for that. And look at the army. He tries to reinforce with Stalkers, but it just wasn't enough. And Max was just gonna say, alright man, you get this map. Let's go next. It's best 5, so there's 3 more maps, sorry. 2 more opportunities for Clem to, I guess, no. I don't know where the 2 comes from, but yeah, 2 more opportunities. MaxPax to come back, I guess. No, he needs to take 2 maps, I guess. And then he can still lose 3-2. That was a great game, though. Really well done here by both players. Very entertaining StarCraft. And so far, justice prevails as the one and only world champion here playing for Team Liquid is winning this so far. Clem. And in the bottom left, the Proto Scum, of course, coming from Ire, the dark place. It is MaxPax. Now MaxPax definitely needs to kind of smoothen out his play a little bit. I feel like the late game decisions haven't been really that great in terms of army composition. And sometimes his moments to fight. A lot of the seesawing action was really good, I want to say, but he never really managed to overly snowball. And the biggest weak point in the last game, I want to say, was just his inability to pull off efficient big fights. The big engagements, they all went to Clem. If there was no attack that really went in favor of MaxPax. There were like a lot of good harassment situations. He did do a lot of good fighting defensively, but his aggression was not the best there, and that was mostly due to the issue that he pushed in at weird times. Like he had the recall for the first fight, he had the recall on cooldown, he pushes in, and he of course loses most of the Colossi, right? If he just gets a good fight and then recalls the Colossi, walks back with the Stalker, something like that, right? He gets a really good trade. But there he loses all the Colossi because he doesn't have the recall. Even if he only gets 1 or 2 Colossi out from the 4, it's gonna be a worthwhile trade. But if he loses all of them, well then it's not, right? The full reset on the AoE is never going to be a good thing for Protoss. Now, after that, we just simply didn't have enough AoE being added in. He was kept on using a lot of Colossi. He did make a few High Templars, but not really too much. And we saw that in the very late moments of the game. He only had like 1 High Templar at all times, right? That's not enough. He used to have like 2 High Templars with his army in one of the big engagements very late to the game, so I feel like he's kind of under using his potential for AoE units. Just throwing in Stalkers and Zealots as much. A little bit too much. You know, if you know what I mean. I feel like those are like things that you can utilize for your advantage because you are mining more. You are forcing your opponent to do more things before he can actually fight your army, right? If you have Templar and Colossi, you're forcing them to snipe the Colossi with a superior range. And if they come in to try to fight the Colossi, they're gonna get stormed by the Templars, right? So you're forcing them to snipe them. So they need to come in with the Ghosts, or EMP them. They need to come in with Ghosts, but that's when the Colossi shoot. So it's a pretty advantageous position for the Protoss army in itself, if you use it correctly. But if you lack the tools, or just don't make enough of them, if 1 EMP is gonna be enough to deplete the HT and get rid of the Storm, well then the Colossi are gonna be free fodder for the Vikings, right? If there's only 1 Colossi, well then the Ghost can just ignore it and walk in. I mean, he was kind of overly on the Colossi and too little on the Ghosts. High Templars, I want to say. Yeah. Clem, looking good there. Definitely having the better army compositions. Yeah. I love this staggering. It's so annoying, man. It's like annoying thing number 1 you can kind of do to a turn as a Protoss player. Staggering Adept Shades, just like, I mean, he's not even threatening to go in, right? But you just want to deny the vision. He loses the Adepts now. Thank God the cycling exists. What do we have here for MaxPax? He feels like weirdly low, actually. This army looked like so powerful from Clem. So it's gonna be a drop though, it's gonna be split off. Look at the army supply, 23-6, right? That's why it looked so powerful. There's gonna be a split now, the drop with the Cyclone and Marines are just gonna go back. He looked at this like, oh, it's not done. I guess we'll come back later. What did MaxPax do behind this? A very fast blink, is that it? But he doesn't have any Stalkers to utilize it. I guess 5. There's the Zealot legs. How is Clem already up so much in economy? It's 40 to 44. It's not how this should look at this point of the game. It's basically an even economy. Maybe even a little bit favored for the Terran here. Starting to ramp up this with mules now. I guess he's kind of... MaxPax starting to outproduce because of the triple production now. There's a Phoenix getting killed off before it really can find anything in the main, so nice deny on the scout. Not that there's much to see, to be honest. It's gonna be kind of the same build as last game, just a one energy bay play here for Clem for now, with the 3 barracks and then the factory and starport, of course. He made a Raven, which is gonna get sniped. That's quite nice for MaxPax, really good pickup. Pickup for him. You will also see a Marauder walk. That's kind of a signal that you know that there's an army crossing the map. You see a reinforcement unit coming. There's the double tanks. A bunch of Marines, they have stim. Need to be careful. They don't have stim, excuse me. You need still to be careful, they still have good firepower. As you can see here, double tank man. If they can't get broken, he might just lose that base. Charge is gonna finish in 10 seconds, but he will engage before that. He's gonna focus on the Nexus. I like this choice. And now he trades against the Stalkers. It's good to get. Oh my god. Is this another of a disaster for MaxPax? He loses even 10 probes. He lost so much. Clem loses an army, okay? Right? It's a lot of money he put in there. What does he get for it? 10 workers, a Nexus, 8 Stalkers. Only the valuable target. He killed 0 Zealots in this engage. Killed no Zealots. He was completely target firing. this is the most damage he dealt to Zealots. It's 50 shields and 12 damage. So that's what, 62 damage. That's the most damage he dealt to Zealots. And another Widow Mine here, but too much blink. Can he snack these Stalkers? Unfortunately not. Stalkers are just a little bit too fast. He will save that one Widow Mine though. I really like this kind of poke out there. And he will actually... Concussive's not done yet. I thought he gets like a touch on the Stalkers, he catches 2. No, this should be a Widow Mine drop if I'm not mistaken here. There we go. It's gonna do as much as it did last game. I don't think so. Oh my god, it does! Oh, what? Only 2? How did that only get 2? Well, that was really good for MaxPax, I want to say. Beautiful splits there in the last split second, really. And we do see a Zealot Warp in here trying to deal some damage across the map. Does kill 4 SCVs, forces the guys off the mining for a moment. The Widow Mines get picked up and go back home. Command Center number 3 is done. MaxPax growth is too slow. He lost the space, he needed to remake this, finally there. But ideally you already want to have your 4th Nexus starting to mine. And maybe even be full saturated and think about your 5th base in this moment where the turn thinks about the 3rd, you know, moving out. It's when you think about your 5th base as a pro. So growth wise, this is a disaster game for MaxPax. Even though he had a couple of cute moves there, it makes some very good stuff happen. But he needs way more of that to get a footing back into this game. Yeah, he's gonna throw down his own 4th now. But it's so late. I mean, we could easily see a 4th being produced here very soon for Clem. But it's about to finish them at the same time, you know. It's gonna snipe that Nexus. Gonna get cancelled. Very easy poke here for Clem. Even a low investment. He doesn't really need to commit to the fight here. Could even get a good shot on the Zealots. Does not manage to do that. But he gets a couple of Stalkers, which were rotating to try to intercept Medivacs, but Clem doesn't fall for that. No, brother. He could even kill the last Stalker, but it does blink away. The Marauder got attacked, but look at this flimsy army. And I feel like MaxPax is abandoning this game. He's just like, alright, let's just send it. Send what we got, maybe we can do some magic with the army. He has an upgrade lead, 1-1. He gets a couple of free units, which is nice. The upgrade is about to vanish. Oh, okay, I guess he does re-expand. He makes a prism because he notices he lost his prism, I guess, yeah. So he can't even warp in the front lines. Let's see the gateways count as 8 gates at this moment, so he has the potential for some big swings if he had the prism, but with the prism the tempo's kind of gone. 3 Colossi. Can they manage to do magic? He does have a bunch of Zealots going into the mineral base. But he needs way more than 2 SCVs for 3 Zealots. Now charges have been used up and the Zealots are just walking slowly into the fight. I don't think that's the real engagement that you're looking for here as MaxPax. He's gonna start to bleed out so many units before they even connect. And the Colossus, even though they kind of decimate the whole south side of this army, the north one that was inside the mineral line is completely safe. There was no damage dealt to that whatsoever. Gonna be healed, they're up there by the Medivacs, no problem. 8 more Zealots trying to join the fight, but this is an army, it's Stalkers and Zealots. Stalkers and Zealots, there's no Warp Prism, sorry, no Sentry, there's no Guardian Shield, there's no casting unit. This should not be able to fight a sophisticated Terran army at any point. That's when 2 drops actually see each other. The one who has the ranged units does win, most of the times. Of course, depends on numbers as well. Max was trying to finally take a 5th base, but we see the 4th base is already floating out from Clem. The tempo advantage he managed to build for himself is still there. He's chasing the prism with the Vikings. He needs to have some units there. Yeah, he has some units to deal with the Zealots as well. It's gonna kill the prism. Things are starting to fall apart here from MaxPax. His ideas are the same. He's kind of just struggling to remake his stuff that he keeps on losing here. He's remaking Colossus. He can't even decide where he wants to split and how he wants to split his units there. Yeah, he's just remaking Colossi right now. He's back to 2, I want to say, but that's not nearly enough to do anything. He has a drop defense for the drop that's not coming, but he scouted earlier. Clem just abandoned the idea after it got found the prism, right? So if he just goes for a frontal attack, he's Clem, man. He just slows down on the command center. It's like, alright, let's see what I can find on Rome in the map here. There's a couple of groups, a little bit of a flank come in. It's only 5 stalkers, but he's committing so much to kill this. And I feel like this is gonna be a good catch for him. He gets 1. He finds the space and it's finished. This is the moment to strike. There's only 2 Colossi, there's no Templars, there's no Disruptors, there's a bigger flank here for Zealots. But there's things that you can, how you can kind of toy with Zealots. Clem's just gonna say like, oh man, right, we're good. Oh, this dude is... He even fixes this guy! I can't believe it, he was on a long route. Sometimes they take those, they just walk through this because they've decided it's the good way to go, but he even fixes this lone SCV being inefficient on the gas. Is there anything that this guy can't do? A 3rd starport on the way? Are we gonna see battlecruisers? I wanna see some battlecruisers. 3 starports, man. Make 1 more. He's getting ship weapons. It's probably for Vikings and Liberators and stuff, but... just like, he's so far ahead at this point. I mean, we are basically even on bases, right? But the ones for MaxPax have been mining a little bit longer. Can he get a good fight here with that flank, though? I don't think the answer is yes. He didn't manage to get behind the army there in the right moment, so now Clem just kites back to his planetary in the center. He does have a bunch of units here. The turret and something else must have killed the prism there, I want to say. Maybe a marine or something. Now we have 1 Colossi as the AoE in this army against 2-2 bio here. Of course, we have 2-2 for MaxPax as well, so the Zealots are gonna be quite sturdy. But the Stalkers, they feel like so flimsy when the upgrades get very high. To rebalance his economy, but Clem is officially on more bases. Officially now on more bases than the Protoss player. Terran! There's the Colossi going down. And I want to say the last one is going to go down again, but actually the game is going to finish before that, so the Colossus even doesn't have a chance to die. GG's called. Clem does take the series 2 best-of-5s in a sweep. Wow, 3 O's here. Clem on fire. What a guy. And